Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're rediving deep into a story that has almost been lost to time, a story about the very first time artificial intelligence stumbled. We talk a lot about AI fails today, from self-driving cars getting confused to chatbots saying weird things. But what about the first one? To find it, we need to rewind the clock all the way back to 1956. This was the dawn of the computer age. The machines were colossal, filling entire rooms, humming with the power of thousands of vacuum tubes. The very idea of a thinking machine was pure science fiction to most people. But in a few brilliant minds, it was becoming a reality. Our story centers around a project called the Logic Theorist. This wasn't just any program. It was arguably the world's first true AI, created by Alan Newell, Herbert A. Simon, and J.C. Shaw at the Rand Corporation. Its mission was ambitious: to prove mathematical theorems from Bertrand Russell and Alfred North Whitehead's masterpiece, Principia Mathematica, This was a book so dense, so complex, that it was famous for being almost impossible to read. The Logic Theorist was designed to mimic human problem-solving, using heuristics, essentially rules of thumb, to find elegant proofs. It wasn't just crunching numbers, it was trying to reason. The team was ecstatic with their creation. In early tests, the Logic Theorist was performing beautifully. It was solving one theorem after another, sometimes even finding proofs that were more elegant and direct than the ones published in the original book. The future of AI seemed incredibly bright. They had a machine that could think, at least in a limited, logical way. This was a monumental achievement, a moment that should have gone down in history with fanfare and celebration. So, they decided it was time for a public demonstration. They set up the computer, a Joniac machine, which was a technological marvel of its time. They invited fellow researchers, mathematicians, and academics to witness this historic event. The plan was simple: feed the Logic Theorist a theorem it hadn't seen before, and watch it work its magic live on stage, printing out a perfect, logical proof. The atmosphere in the room was electric with anticipation. This was the moment AI would be introduced to the world. The demonstration began. The problem was loaded. The teletype machine, which was their printer, clattered to life. Everyone leaned in, waiting for the first line of the proof to appear. And then nothing. Well, not exactly nothing. The machine started printing, but what came out was gibberish. A jumble of letters, numbers, and symbols that made no sense at all. It was a chaotic mess of text, a digital word salad. The program was running, but it was completely off the rails. The team was horrified. Newell, Simon, and Shaw frantically checked their code, their punch cards, and the machine's connections. They tried restarting the program. They tried feeding it a simpler problem. But every time the result was the same: pure, unadulterated nonsense. The machine that was supposed to showcase the dawn of logical intelligence was producing the exact opposite. Imagine the scene: the pioneers of AI standing in front of their peers, watching their creation have a complete meltdown. It was the world's first major AI glitch, a true cyber fail happening in real time. The demonstration was, to put it mildly, a disaster. The audience was confused, and probably a little bit skeptical. The grand debut of artificial intelligence had turned into a public embarrassment. The team had to pack up their project, their heads hanging low. So what actually went wrong? After the disastrous demo, the team spent days debugging. They eventually found the culprit, and it's a fascinating glimpse into the challenges of early computing. It wasn't a single, catastrophic error in the logic of the program itself. Instead, it was a subtle memory allocation bug. In simple terms, the program was trying to store a piece of information, but it accidentally wrote it into a part of the computer's memory that was already being used for something else. This tiny mistake created a cascading effect. The corrupted memory caused one part of the program to malfunction, which then corrupted another part, and so on, until the whole system was spewing out random characters. It was like a single typo in a recipe that tells you to add salt instead of sugar. But then that mistake also changes the cooking time and temperature, leading to a completely inedible dish. This incident, this first AI fail, taught the early pioneers a crucial lesson, one that is still incredibly relevant today. AI is not just about brilliant algorithms. It's also about the nuts and bolts of the hardware and software it runs on. A perfect logical model can be brought to its knees by a single, misplaced bit of data. The complexity of these systems means that unexpected errors, or glitches, are an inherent part of the process. You can't just focus on the high-level intelligence. You also have to master the low-level plumbing. While the public demonstration was a failure, the Logic Theorist itself was not. It went on to successfully prove 38 of the first 52 theorems in Principia Mathematica *. Its legacy is immense. It laid the groundwork for fields like cognitive psychology and, of course, the entire future of artificial intelligence. It proved that machines could, in fact, simulate aspects of human thought. The story of the 1956 glitch is often left out of the history books, overshadowed by the program's ultimate successes, but I think it's one of the most important parts of the story. It reminds us that even the most revolutionary technologies have messy, imperfect beginnings. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone on the path to it. Every time we see an AI make a funny mistake today, we're re-seeing a direct descendant of that first glitch in 1956. It's a humbling reminder that, for all its power, AI is still a human creation, with all the potential for flaws and errors that implies, and understanding those flaws is just as important as celebrating its triumphs. So next time you hear about an AI fail, remember the logic theorist and its jumbled printout. It wasn't just a bug, it was a birth announcement for a new era of technology, complete with growing pains. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this piece of forgotten tech history, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. See you in the next one.